Hello, welcome back to Circuit Place. Today I'm going to do a video on a phone that's been out for more than a year, but is possibly very relevant to you today. That is the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5. Now you may know the Fold 6 just came out. The question is it worth the upgrade? It's about, they're minimal changes, right? So I would say that the Fold 5, depending on how you look at it and what you value, is about 85 to 90% of the phone that the Fold 6 is. However, the Fold 6, they raised the price on it. Now it launches at $1,900 MSRP. Now there are some deals to still be had, not quite as good as the pre-order deals, but I think Amazon's offering a $300 gift card. Certain things like that, Best Buy I think is as well. So you might get it down to your real true cost of $1,500 to $1,600. That's still a lot of money, more than any other flagship phone. So is it worth it when you can find a Z Fold 5 new for under $1,000, around $1,000, and slightly used open box for maybe even $800-900? You're talking half the price. Is 85 to 90% of the phone good enough to save $800? I think for a lot of you it is. And I'm not going to go over all the details. Again, it's about 10 to 15% CPU performance jump, 30 to 35% GPU and machine learning performance jump. So here are some things to keep in mind if you want to get the older phone. If you want to be on the bleeding edge of Galaxy AI, all the AI features, the machine learning stuff, this will still do it all, but not quite as fast. That 30 to 35% jump in machine learning performance that the Fold 6 has will make a difference noticeably if you are going to be using a lot of those features, if you're going to lean into that. So you know if that's you or not. For me, I don't find them that useful on the daily. I dabble here and there. I think they'll begin to get more integrated into my life as time goes on, but that's not a deal breaker for me. The other thing is gaming. Graphics performance on the 6 is 30 to 35% stronger than this Fold 5. So if you do a lot of gaming, and it's probably a nice screen to game on because it's a big screen, then that might matter to you as well. For everyone else, I would take a serious look at this phone. Now, that brings me to the second part of this video, which is you maybe have never had a foldable. A lot of you probably haven't. So is it something that's worth looking at in general, coming from an iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max or a Galaxy S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra, S21, 22, whatever you have? Is it worth looking at a foldable? I think to make it simple and boil it down, there's two things you need to consider. One of them will only be relevant for some of you. If you're an iPhone user, you need to first consider if Android is going to work for you. Android, I have a love-hate relationship with Android and iOS, and I generally have at least one phone with both operating system. So here's the main difference in my opinion. There's so many videos out there about this, but here's the main difference in my opinion. Android is, you can do much more with. There's basically nothing that you can think of that you can't do with Android. You can find a way to sideload the app, you can find a way to root the device, you can, depending on how technical you are, you can do pretty much anything with an Android device, and that includes customization and how you set up your icons and all these things. And iOS is getting a little bit more and more of that as time goes on, but Android is the king of customization and flexibility. You can do anything with it. And it also is sometimes snappier, especially if you go to developer options, enable those, change the animations down to 0.5 or something. Opening windows and moving around the OS is snappy and sometimes faster than your iPhone. But there's one big advantage to iOS. Possibly two, depending on your taste. One is aesthetic. I think the iOS system, the apps tend to look a little bit better. Just a personal opinion, again, that may not be the case for you. Two, and this does matter to me, is smoothness. iOS is just smoother. It's gotten better with recent Android releases, but it's undeniable. If you use them side by side, moving around the phone, opening and closing apps, going between things, it's just smoother. And let me add a piggyback on that, slightly more reliable. Sometimes I'll hit the fingerprint reader and it won't work. Sometimes the face unlock won't work depending on the angle. With my iPhone 15 Pro Max, face unlock, Face ID, it's bulletproof. I can't remember the last time it's failed to read my face or failed to unlock for any reason. So there are value to both ecosystems. You need to determine which one is worth more to you. Which values, do I value customization? Do I value being able to do anything I want ever and flexibility, or is it reliability and a little bit more smoothness and perhaps better aesthetic? So that's the first thing if you're going to think about a Fold, is it runs Android. There is no Apple iPhone Fold yet. I mean, maybe there will be this fall, possibly, but we don't have one yet. The other thing you need to think about is, will you utilize, and this is for all of you, Samsung, Android users, as well as iPhone users, will you utilize the bigger inner display? If it's just going to be for, oh yeah, I want to watch videos on it, I'll tell you, skip it. Because you notice it's almost square, right? You're going to get almost as much viewable real estate watching movies on a 15 Pro Max or an S24 Ultra, S23 Ultra as you will on this. So, and you're sacrificing battery life, cameras, things like that to do that. So do not get this if it's just for content consumption. However, if you're going to be multitasking with it, this is amazing, and Samsung's OS is the best of any foldable for that. You can open up to 3 windows at once. You can do apps in split screen. So if you go here and then boom, it's just so smooth, and you can adjust it on the fly to up and down. They have multitasking on a folding phone to a T, and even though some of the technological advancements in the Vivos and the Oppos and the Honors look tantalizing, I would never get anything but a Samsung Fold if you're getting a folding phone because of that, even including the Pixel Fold. Now they have a new one coming out soon. We'll be reviewing it and see where they've gone with some of their shortcomings in the first one. But anyway, are you going to be using the multitasking? Do you have a use case for 2 apps open at the same time? A couple that I've used in the past are, you're watching a YouTube video or an educational video and you're taking notes at the same time. That's a great use case for this phone. Are you watching a product video and then you're also browsing the web looking for that product, or things like that. There are multiple use cases you can. It's such a powerful operating system. You can have app pairings where you just touch the icon and it opens both at the same time in whatever arrangement you've chosen before. So it's very powerful, but those are the 2 things to think about. Are you okay with Android? Are you good using Android? And do you have a use case for the bigger screen for the multitasking ability? And if so, I would look at this before I look at the Fold 6, because again, you're looking at basically half the price for about 85 to 90% of the phone. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please hit like on the video. I'll be doing a Fold 6 review soon. I'm using that phone now and go into some of the details as to why you may want to splurge and spend more on that phone. So please subscribe and you can catch that video when it comes out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.